They'll be calling you a radical. So we're back to the fucking Mitchell Act, the salmon epic collapse, the fucking denial of the United States government to enforce their very own laws, this sickening, disgusting freaking serfdom. What does it matter? So on the left, you're saying, throw more money to the EPA, throw more money. Doesn't matter if you put 10 billion, none of them do anything. I could prove that. Then you got the right. Let's just keep poisoning, freaking get on our knees for these corporate freaking whores who they are. So, you know my party. My party's called Robin Hood, the Robin Hood Party. You know, you saw my cutout, her. She's the cardboard cutout. She's, well, what do you think those fuckers are? Fucking. So you got the 33-degree Masons are back in power. The Masons are, I mean, this is all this is a fight between the Masonics and the fucking Skull and Bones Seeker, and they all have the same agenda. You know, these corporate fucking welfare whores. You know, so here's the difference. In South Korea, you know, they throw this corrupt president out. The activists there are incredible. The anti-nuclear, by the way, they're amazing. Oh, they fight. Same in Taiwan, same in China, same in Japan, same in freaking Austria, same in Denmark. Oh, do they fight. Here, what a lonely war. The rest of here in the United States is a bunch of keyboard freaking wannabes podcasting each other. You know, they don't show up, they don't do anything. It's pretty amazing. So, in both candidates that are running for president now in South Korea both said nuclear's out of here. Both parties. Both parties here say we want to keep slaughtering, bow to Monsanto, but just kill us. You know, these scumbags. So, get this. So the number came in at, get this. I mean, so, the Willamette is still at 2 fish. So I called and left a message with the Oregon governor yesterday, you know, and says, hey, you know, I need to ask you, they say you're the expert. They say you're the expert. You know, I guess the political correct term, and I've been told this, is bisexual, which the governor up there is bisexual. She hooked up with this old guy, and her sexuality is preference goes by her economic preparer and where she can go power, you know, how she got. The old guy to the young, I mean, young girl, what? Okay, whatever. So I asked her, I left a message, you're the expert, I want to know why this is emergency been closed, and there's only two. It takes two to tango. If they're both hands and they're both bucks, can we spawn? Or are we going to get smolts out of that? I'm confused, I guess. You know, the whole country's confused. The world's confused. I mean, it's pretty pathetic. Both these parties are pathetic. They're disgusting. Mike Lee right here, his father died young. There's a video right here, me asking Mike Lee about Fukushima. And he lied to me. He lied. I'm going to talk to Wyden. He lied to me in public, so I'll get back. My dad's a downwinder. His dad died young. He doesn't care. He just put up a bill, this fat guy who killed all the people in the coal mines. And I mean, this scumbag, who they're in violation. He's in grotesque violation, but they refuse to enforce their own laws. The Endangered Species Act, the Mitchell Act. So let's get into these numbers in Oregon. So in Oregon, this is a catastrophe. By law, look, salmon go to sea for 5 years. They collapsed last year. I mean, they had record numbers. Hear me out. These people that say, oh, they've been killing the ocean, you know, gradually. No. It had problems and it was in trouble, but not like this. Look, the numbers on the Columbia are the most guarded, and here's why this is so very important. And I'm going to talk about United too. Why this is so important. Because we have no data. Because, look, these government-controlled agencies, for instance, the Masonics, which is the Army Corps of Engineers, who, by the way, Oregon has an entire team, post these numbers. So I've been in the Columbia, I've watched it, I've been around that. They have this sonar board that goes in, they have television, you can watch it. Now remember last year, magically on peak days, which are the 1st of May, the end of April for our peak days. Last year, the window magically didn't work. The live cam didn't work magically. The numbers again magically because the Army Corps of Engineers hijacked this through the Mitchell Act. Now, remember, the Mitchell Act was an act passed in 1934 to restore salmon. I mean, it's a grotesque thing. It was completely taken away from the purposes it has and given to the chambers of commerce. So they just lie on websites, lie whatever, cover, and they ignore the Endangered Species Act, which is in law. By the way, the head of NOAA in the Obama administration and the Trump administration, the head of the EPA in both, which, you know, Gina McCarthy, who was RadNet, by crashing RadNet, she got promoted to the head of the PEPA. Scotty Boy, who I've actually had arguments with before, they need to be locked up. They need to be arrested. The head of NOAA needs to be put in handcuffs today. The Endangered Species Act should have kicked in a year ago. By law. By law. This is no argument, no fudging, and it's concrete law. They drop to those levels. I mean, they're that low. They happen, so they go to sea for 5 years. The Bonneville had 1.5 million over it. You heard me right, 1.5 million. Record returns in 2015. Record returns in 2015. They had record escapement in 2011, 2012. I'm like, everybody's arguing with me. I'm like, no, wait. Till 2016, nobody. They were projecting 1.7 million. That's right. They hurried and went in and tried to lower their projections. This is how corrupt it is. They are still talking about last year's projected number. When these guys put out reports on websites, they don't use the hard number. I'm like, still talking, because this is what a masquerade party, what a scam, because it's all freaking come fishing, get your freaking, drink your beer, stay in the hotels, $4.50 a day, retail, we got boat payments. So what's happened? They've collapsed, totally collapsed. They collapsed last year. Should have been closed. So I really equate the salmon industry to, in a way, pseudo de facto, to the dairy industry, which is the most corrupt industry in the country besides the nuclear energy is dairy. Oh, these are farmers. No, they're not farmers. They're businessmen. They milk cows 4 times a day. They exploit labor. The cow shit they're sprinkling all over, whatever, they say they're organic, thousands of times over the nitrate levels. Nitrates in the water system everywhere. That we dump 500 million gallons of milk, just dump it down the drain a year for this poison. This incredible poison. So what it does, it creates a corporate atmosphere, it creates a food chain of that shouldn't even exist on corporate welfare. These are the biggest welfare queens, and these are the very people that tell you they're free market fairy places. These dairy farmers. They're corporate wealth. They're the big, I mean, they're the most evil, dangerous people in the history of mankind. Just loot billions of dollars. Same with the Mitchell Act. So that what they've done, they've created all this retail fishing. You know, come get your fishing lines, whatever, and they all posture for bailouts. They all posture, which they get. Bailouts. They don't care about the fish. You know, it becomes as natural as unleashing cattle onto, it becomes as natural as occupying a bird refuge. I'm a fisherman, what's a boat? I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm an environmentalist, what's Fukushima? I don't go block a pipeline. You know, hello. You know, I like it. I always supported all you guys. I support all you other people's causes. You don't support me. The biggest cause, none of them support me. And that's just the fact, Jack. I mean, this is the way it is. I mean, this is not commentary. This is documented fact. You know, I do the fucking work. I'm the guy who's fucking documented all this. So you can go right to the site now in Oregon and have a big disclaimer. That's my work. It says right up there. We post this when the Army Corps Engineers. So the Army Corps Engineers has become so corrupt. They're all Masons, by the way. They're all Masons, the Army Corps. They're so corrupt that they post them when they want. They whatever, you know, they're bowing to, you know, the Mitchell Act. This is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history by billions of times. The Great Pacific Genocide. These people, you know, they think this is all hyperbole bullshit. Think about all these podcasters, these people that are all over. I mean, this is an epic, because look, they don't count the death sea lions. Nobody counts those. The wells, they're not getting counted. You know, you got some well watchers out that count the same well 15 times and post it on some freelance bullshit, playing their harp. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, that's what we've turned into on the left. Look at the fucking right. Harris, proud of their ignorance and drunk on it. You know, I need it post-ignorance right. Post-ignorance someday, it's so tiny few. What a completely disgusting freaking place we live in. Bow to your own cure, degenerate America. You need to speak American. America Vespucci, that Mas Maurice spoke Italiano. And freaking the same guys who own New Scale, the same guys who own the Philippine president, the same guys who own Trans-Alaska, all the fisheries, which Florence, Italy, Rome, all roads lead to Rome, all roads lead to Vienna, the IAEA, the fucking UN, fucking the monarchy, the royal families. It's like Trump. He fought so hard to become president. He became president, he tried for about 3 weeks and he says, fuck, this ain't no fun. Fuck this. I mean, born so far with a silver spoon up his fucking ass, his pompous fucking, you know, his self-entitlement life that he's fucking lived. I mean, think about it. This guy do whatever he fucking wants, you know, fuck over banks, fucking, you know, commit incredible felonies against female. You know, the one young female, Miss Tina, she's from Utah. You ought to hear her stories, what he did to her. She was a teenage girl. But no, that's all okay with this fuckhead. You know, and Obama, fuck, what a scumbag. Let them eat yellow cake. I mean, what a scumbag fucking with Jeffrey Melton. You know, the corruption in General Electric. Think about the USS Reagan case. That was filed over 5 years ago. The appellate court had it, what, the 1st of September. This is the appeal of the appeal in the California. 90 days after the world. How many days we going on? They probably never will. I mean, just wait till they're all dead like they did my dad. You know, kill him. So, on the website now it says, we're waiting for the Army. They're corrupt bastards. They've created this pseudo de facto industry. You know, come get your fishing line, your gears, your boats that doesn't even exist, and then just file for a bank bailout. That's what they fucking do. What do you think the fucking dairy industry does? I mean, they create poison. And then you eat fucking poison. They create poison, and then they're welfare queens to the tens of millions, and, you know, that's the country we live in. It's disgusting. And you got these corporate fucking senators, scumbags that are jerry-rigged. You got a dumb, ignorant population, these Masonics and these freaking secret societies. They control the media. They like it just the way it is. You know, it's like the Robin Hood party. You know, steal from the rich, give to the poor. Oh, no, 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 no. Take back what they stole from us. You realize what they've stole? Illegally. I mean, it's just proof, like at Savannah River, Chicago Bridge. Bills the United States taxpayer $17 billion for, it said they're 78% complete to this Tower to Babylon, who's based on nothing but a lie that'll never be built. That'll never be used. When the DOE goes right in and says they're only 28%. They still 14. Did you see any charges? Jeff Sessions. I mean, he's the biggest weakling as freaking Loretta was. You know, John Holden, I mean, you got 3 weaklings in a row. They're not going to do anything. Trump says, fuck this being president shit. This shit fucking sucks. I don't like this. I want to go back to my fucking life. You know, I know plenty of old wealthy fucking guys, you know. They're pompous, arrogant, born into fucking wealth, you know. They're abusive, the female, whatever, you know, and these females that go along with it, you know. These gold diggers, I mean, a spy who loved me. You know, fuck. What a plant she is. And think about him naming his child Baron. Just think about that. He's like, fuck this. All they care about is their golf score. I mean, this fucker flies to Florida every week, has a grandstand, fuck like anybody's on it. Obama did the same thing. Obama played golf fucking at least 1,000 times. There's rumor he played. That's all he did. They're like, fuck this. This ain't no fun. You know, think about the weaklings. Neither one of them ever worked a fucking day in their fucking lives. None of them did. I mean, think they ain't ever been camping? I mean, they're scumbags. And you're going to fucking bow to these pieces of shit? So he's like, fuck you, Jared. You take the fuck. Phil, I'm not doing this anymore. This ain't even fun. You can see, he fucking said, fuck it. And that's what you're going to get. You know, Reagan did the same thing. Reagan says, fuck this. I don't like this. I'm going to go back to my pompous fucking, you know, easy, cushy fucking. But Trump's even worse than this, you know. Think about the life this fucker born into fucking with a silver spoon so far up his fucking ass. I mean, self-entitlement, and you bow to him, not me. So United. So, you know, I fly so much, and I always have to find the cheapest flights because I do this on public donations, and I don't have hardly any money. And they're always United pieces of shit. I have to price line. So they're always jump here. So last trip to New York, I had a layover in Houston. And I'm in Houston, and somebody has puked on the fucking plane. United. So they go to get on the plane. They don't even bother cleaning it up. And this woman's got a child. There's 6 rows. It's a big plane. And they're like, well, you could smell through the whole plane. They just go, we're not sitting there. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, you're not flying then. What? So this woman's got a baby, a little baby. And I'm told, hey, look, I'll switch you out. I'll trade you. I'll gut it out there. That baby can't sit and smell that. Oh, we'll delay the flight. We're going to come in and try to clean it. And then they started throwing people off the plane, just like they did this guy. When I flew to Calgary a year and a half ago, the door jammed on the fucking runway in fucking Utah. Left us on the plane for 3 hours. My own event, I'm late. When I get to Calgary, you know, Ackerman could freaking, Shane Russ going to verify this. I had to be there at 3 o'clock in the morning on the runway. They shut them down because the fucking engine was ready to fall off. Ha! I'm fucking, and you're going through customs. They don't let you back out. 12 fucking hours. 12, so I'm like, well, you're going to give it, they didn't offer voucher, and people were going psych. They don't care. This is a seal because that's what it's turned into, this country. You bow to these fucking, your own repressors. They talk softly, oh, you know, they're fucking, it's not about their words, no more words and no more promises. It's about actions. You know, I do the fucking work. The Salmon have collapsed. Look at the website right now. Big blind, that's my work. I've exposed both people on both sides, the Army Corps engineers, which are corrupt as corrupt. You know, the Oregon fish count numbers, people in there, I don't know how corrupt they are, but they're telling me, look, you exposed the flaw. I mean, she told me, she says, it's pretty amazing. One person, I says, nobody's watching? Nobody's paying attention? There are no watchdog groups because the NGOs took over that. There goes my Geiger counter whistling. Everybody says, oh, where's your Geiger? I usually keep 2 or 3 Geiger counters with me all the time. I'm not going to post fucking Geiger County ratings because I'm a stats professor. I know the NSET. That's why I know the fish thing's so big. I understand how fucking numbers work, and I understand how consistent this fucking salmon run is. This is an epic, epic collapse. Look, it's real simple. They don't count wells, dead wells, they've collapsed. They don't count dead sea lions, they've collapsed. They don't count anything. They don't even count humans as they die. They don't care. You know, they did that through the HIPAA laws. My doctors want to talk. They can't by law. Congress, you just keep passing, you keep bowing to these people. You know, and you want to talk how corrupt? Think about the United States Supreme Court. There's 3 neoconservative judges on there that are illegitimate. 3. Bush didn't win. Bush did not win. Alito and fucking Roberts are both illegitimate. Now they play this game with this guy? You know, last year, I mean, and the left's such a fucking weaklings. I said it for years, the last fucking strong Democrat was Bobby Kennedy. They're fucking pussies. They're weaklings. And this right's a bunch of fucking bullies who just they don't care about law. They do whatever the fuck they want. Trump's a perfect example of them. I mean, he's perfect. And the left's a bunch of pussy fucking weaklings. That's why the third party has to be, which I call the Robin Hood Party. Oh, she's just a cardboard cutout that you speak for. What do you think the other 2 parties fucking are? Fucking, you fucking fainting goats of fucking... And look, the only reason people even give a fuck about Fukushima now is because the mainstream media finally... I said they'll boil the frogs nicely because they finally reported it. You know, you're still watching Fox News and CNN waiting for them to tell you fucking how to fuck... I mean, talk about social engineering, herd you fucking drunken sheep off the fuck... Not me. I think for myself. You know? And you bow to military. You know, I like it freaking... The military-industrialized complex. They're heroes, and it's all the draft dodgers are heroes. Trump got 5 deferments. 5. By the way, I went to Weber State. Taught there. It came down to 2 every year. The 2 top elite freaking schools of business every single year. When I graduated there, when I late there came down to the testing. Wharton and Weber State. Wharton and Weber State. We used to always beat them. We beat them for years. Now we're Chinese oligarchy. Clyde Cooley died of mad cow. Kyle Madsen died of freaking cancer. I mean, half the police all got cancer. You know, I call it the Wattis freaking curse, and then of course I got it. And then they blackball me. It's all Chinese freaking supply chain management. They don't even rank top 500. The academia bubble. Why is anybody going to college right now? These academia professors, these marine biologists should all be locked up on the Fukushima. The greatest PhD opportunity in human history. I'm the only one that took it. I'm the one that did it because these fuckers are paid to do this. No, they all need to be locked up. You know, if I was one of these fucking people right now, I mean, if I worked at Oregon State, University of Oregon, fucking Cal Berkeley, fucking UCLA, fucking San Diego State, which I protested on every one of these campuses, these scumbags, these people that are fucking just grandstanding, you know, they're paid to fucking do this and protect us, I'd be heading for the fucking hills. I mean, this is the great, this thing's it's going to erupt because you can't hide it anymore. The Mitchell Act, they've kicked that can. This thing is going to send, they've created a fucking pseudo de facto fucked up business called the fucking retail fishing industry. Same with the dairy. They've created these corrupt hairspan, and they fucking manipulate the system illegally. You know, but there's no accountability, just like this. She says, it's pretty amazing, one person. Because the nonprofits, Greenpeace. I got in a fight with Greenpeace. The CEO had a physical confrontation when I'm full of cancer. He pushed me right on the pier at fucking Pacific Beach, PB. So I was raising my voice. I says, I remember when you got to see the house he lives in. You know, the NFL's a nonprofit. You know, they're all fucking fundraisers, not me. I'm the fucking last fucking organic, like a coelacanth or an ivory-billed woodpecker. Fight on. United does this because they can. All these people do this because they can. Free market, fairy tales. That's called a monarchy. It's like, ooh, call it New World when it's old. Up is down, black is fucking white. It's the oldest thing in human history. It's called a monarchy. Same old theme. It's one royal fucking family. Fucking, they're all fucking in the same fucking club. Putin, Trump, Trump's fucking wife, young Barron, fucking Obama, Hillary, Trump and Hillary are cousins. So is fucking Putin. They're all cousins. The Chinese royal family, the fucking, you know, little fucking sir, and they're all fucking run by London Liz. You heard Barbara Bush's statement she made recently? Ha! Same old fucking clan, you know. But we used to have grassroots activists that fought back. It's just me. The greatest fucking event in human history. Oh, they've collapsed. I've been posting the numbers every day. And you're going to let the fucking, your representatives, Wyden went to Fukushima, he don't give a fuck. You know, DeFazio, fucking hippie with a gun, my buddy asked him, fucking one of our group, straight up. You could hear, hey, that's clear over there. Breaking news to you fucking ignorant, drunken, dumb sheep. Pacific Ocean is not a bathtub. Breaking news, that fucking bridge that landed on the beach of Fukushima, from Fukushima in Oregon, That was an entire fucking bridge. Made it there in 6 days. Breaking news, the Pacific Ocean is not about them. Breaking news, fish swim. Breaking news, the ocean currents move left to right. They're the swiftest rivers on Earth. You're being fucking bombarded and howard. And the fucking rest of the world banned the food? Not here. Bring it on, bring it on. I read Hillary emails online 4.5 years ago about the cover-up of Fukushima. Read them online. Took incredible risk doing that. You didn't listen to me. Everybody pulled away from me. Because, you know, you're so used to fucking spin artists. You'll go fucking to these fucking feel-good fairy tales because that's all you're doing. You're listening to something that fucking, it's dogma snuggies. And you just fucking go find your dogma snuggie and fucking listen. You can't handle someone like me because I'm old-fashioned. To love the environment, to fight for the environment, to discover corruption, I'm old-fashioned. The old fucking, you know, muckrakers, you know. I'm it. It's fucking sad. This is the numbers, so go along. Go along. Collapse the entire ecology. When you get fucking cancer, see how that works for you. Stay in tune it. Pathetic fucks. Post-ignorance someday. I was in that room right there over 5 years ago. Losing 6-7 pounds a day. 12 different doctors told me I'd be dead. Told me I'd be dead within fucking by Christmas. And that was in October 2011. Fukushima's going to give cancer. What timing, huh? Yeah, what timing? I fight for her, she fights for me. The fight is the life, and nobody can fight it for you. This is a lonely, lonely fucking war. I can tell you that. I can't believe it. I mean, I would have never believed it going into it. How abusive people are to cancer fighters, and how abusive fucking people are, and how ignorant they are to the truth. And I learned 90% of the population, they're beyond ignorant. Well, they're fucking assholes, you know. And fuck them. Stay in tune it.